In this video I will tell you what is the best method to farm stand conjuration in Bizarre Lineage on Roblox. Subscribe, hype, like if you want more Roblox guides and giveaways. Watch until the end to properly understand this guide. Unlocking new abilities for your stand in Bizarre Lineage mostly depends on something called stand conjuration. You can think of stand conjuration like experience points for your stand. The more you collect, the more abilities you unlock and the stronger your stand becomes overall. As you continue increasing your stand conjuration level, your stand not only gains access to new skills but also becomes stronger through additional stat boosts. I'll tell you the best ways to farm stand conjuration fast so you can unlock those abilities much quicker. There are several different ways you can gain stand conjuration in the game. The most common method is simply defeating enemies across the map. You can also earn it by clearing raid battles. Another good source comes from defeating mini-bosses that appear in different locations. Some players also use stand conjuration essence consumables which instantly grant extra progress. And finally there is the boss battle called the Self, which is considered one of the most efficient farming methods later in the game. The best method actually depends on your current progression stage. If you are still early in the game, mini-boss farming is usually the best option. If you are already in the mid-game or endgame stages, farming the Self boss becomes much faster and more efficient. The Self can be fought repeatedly with no respawn timer, which makes it extremely good for grinding stand conjuration. Subscribe if I should record more guides. However, this boss is also significantly harder than story bosses, so beginners might struggle if they attempt it too early. For the best farming results, you should also try getting the Conjurer trait from the Avdo raid shop. When this trait is equipped in an active slot, it doubles the stand conjuration you gain from all sources. Because of that, it becomes one of the most valuable tools for players who want to level their stand abilities as fast as possible. For beginners, the most reliable method is farming mini-bosses around the map. Mini-bosses are fixed boss encounters that spawn in specific areas of the world. They are generally easier to defeat than major bosses, and they reward a large amount of stand conjuration when defeated. After being defeated, they eventually respawn again, which allows you to repeat the fight and continue farming. One of the best mini-bosses for this method is CONJURATION Prime. This boss can reward up to 40,000 stand conjuration per kill, and he respawns roughly 3 minutes after being defeated. On top of that, he can also drop chests and other useful items that help your overall progression. You can find CONJURATION near a gas station located around bus stop 9. If you find the fight difficult, you can also team up with another player and defeat the boss together to make the grind easier and faster. For more experienced players, there is a much stronger farming method available. You can travel to the gym and interact with the meditation mat located there. When you meditate, you will be transported to a special area called the Inner Dimension. Inside this area you can fight a boss known as the Self. This boss has no respawn timer, which means you can challenge it repeatedly without waiting. Because there is no downtime between fights, late game players can farm massive amounts of stand conjuration much faster than with mini-bosses. Once your build becomes strong enough to defeat the Self consistently, this method becomes one of the best ways to grind stand conjuration in the entire game.